Hello, everyone. So, as you can see here, we've been talking about the different types of checklists to kind of gauge where your child is when it comes to their education and if they're growing. So, here, if you actually go to Google, you can actually type in checklists. Like you could say pre-K checklist, first grade checklist, standard checklist. You could do fifth grade checklist. It just kind of goes on and on. Just depends on what your child's age is. And there are so many different resources that actually have the checklist out in particular. So as you can see here, I'm actually in the when I googled it, I'm at the actually Mississippi Department of Education, and they have all these different developmental checklists here, and I love the way that they actually show it because as you can see here, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the actual. I don't know why that keeps popping up, y'all. But yes, when I click on that checklist, I'm actually able to show you guys what that looks like. So you can put your child's name, obviously their homeschool, or maybe it's just this is just a supplement as they go to daycare or as they go to preschool to kind of keep track. So here, as you can see, they have like all the reading standards, and I love the way that they broke it down. They wrote down the standards, and then they looked at the observations of when they saw the child make developments, and they also have this awesome code scale here. So college and career readiness standards. So they have code 1 needs improvement, code 2 making progress, code 3 developing as expected, and code 4 advanced development. So they look for things like prompting and support, ask and answer questions with details related to a variety of print materials. What is the duck doing? And then they give you like a nice little example here. And then it's like another one is with prompting and support, identify some characters, settings, or major events in the story. This one is really helpful, and that's something that they'll continue to do. Um, and then last but not least, just for the reading section, it says exhibit curiosity and interest in learning words in print. So these are all really good just to gauge, to kind of see how your child is developing and how ready they are when it comes to these different learning targets here. And again, standards are a great measure to definitely guide your teaching. So, not to say that you'll probably go through all the standards, but it's pretty important to know basically the standards in general, just to kind of gauge like what you're teaching your child. And it all just comes back around, especially when they start doing testing around second to third grade, just depending on what you decide to do. Or, if you decide to do state testing even earlier than that, depending on your state's requirements. So they have all these informational standards, foundational standards. They have writing standards here. With prompting support, recognize that writing is a way of communicating for a variety of purposes. Listening standards, language standards. They're very thorough, like super thorough. Then they even have mathematics. They have recite numbers 1 to 30. With prompting and support, recognize a name and attempting writing numerals 0 to 20. Just all these different things. Algebra thinking with guidance and support. Experiment with adding and subtracting by using developmentally appropriate pre-kindergarten materials. They're just so thorough, and having something like this is just great to kind of see, all right, let's go. And this, I wouldn't even observe this, at the same time. You can even break it up. Like maybe one week you do ELA, maybe another week you do science, maybe another week you do math. In my personal homeschool, I just stick to reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's all I stick to for now. And then once they have a real good grasp on consistently reading and so forth, then we kind of will hit more of the science and social studies, because reading allows you to get more in depth into that type of stuff naturally. So that, not trying to do too much, especially with this being my first year homeschooling. I mean, even though I have 10 years experience, I like to just kind of ease into stuff and then go ahead and go full fledged. We do more hands on things when it comes to science and social studies. Like if we see something out and about in our day to day life, then I'll be like, hey, what is this tree? And if I know it off the top of my head, I'll just share that information with them when it comes to science and social studies. But for right now, we're not doing anything structured. The only thing structured we do is reading, writing, and arithmetic, and I feel like all the other stuff will fall into place once they are are readers basically. So, yeah. So I hope this kind of helps here. This is just an example. There are some simpler checklists out there. It just depends on what you like. This kind of is itching my teacher brain a lot. I love it. So, because it has the standards and you just can't go wrong with that. And some of these can actually be extended to kindergarten easily. Um, and I'm sure if you looked up kindergarten, first grade, etc., you'll have the same thing. But yeah, free resource. You can download it. Especially you parents that are in preschool, and then if your child's in a different grade, go ahead and type that in. I'm sure there's plenty of free checklists, performance checklists out there for every single grade level. Pick it up and use it for your school portfolio or just to make sure your child's on track. All right, thank you so much. I hope this helped. Mm-hmm.